now!
Hello, this is Billy Core from the Nostalgia Mall, and welcome back to Nostalgia Mall Christmas 2019. And today we're going to be doing a quick little update and overview of the current state of my Carolina Flyer computer. This is my ultimate Windows 98 computer that I've been working on for a couple of years now. Biggest change as of late was back in August, moving the parts from the Carolina Flyer from its beige case into this brand new black one. And you saw the other day here on Nostalgia Mall Christmas us installing a black Zip 250 drive, which works just fine. Even though it's missing a little flap there, but at least it's functional. And so in this video I'm just going to show you what this computer is capable of and what kind of hardware is on here, what software it's running. The specs of the computer right off the top of my head is it has a Intel Pentium 3 clocked at 866 megahertz, 256 megabytes of RAM, an 80 gigabyte hard drive, a NVIDIA GeForce 4MX video card, a Sound Blaster Audigy sound card, and what else is in there? Well, we got this DVD-RW drive here as well. I never use it for writing anything, but it's the only black IDE optical drive I have at the moment. And I guess that's the important stuff. I forget the model number of this case. If you want to know that, just go to the video where I put the computer in this case. Okay, let's take a closer look. We've got 4 USB 2.0 ports on the front, although only 2 of them are active. There's only 1 USB header on this computer, on the motherboard I mean. And even though these are USB 2 capable, the header, the USB subsystem on here is 1.1, so this only runs at 1.1 speeds. But it's worth it though, just to have front panel USB on a computer of this age. Headphone and microphone connectors, which are not functional. An eSATA connector, which is not functional. Hard drive LED and power LED. There's the optical drive we were talking about a while ago. This is for reset. This is for power. And here's our Zip 250 drive we installed recently. And a 1.4 meg floppy drive, which works just fine in this system. And over here on the right side, we have a little Aberdeen, Scotland decal, courtesy of the Flying Scotsman. Thank you for that. And on the back we got our power supply. We got a keyboard and mouse PS2 connectors, 2 USB 1.1 connectors. Behind this I/O shield is a Ethernet connector, but when I bought this I/O shield, I thought it was going to have the Ethernet connector on there, but it doesn't, so I'm having to use a PCI network card until I can get a more appropriate I/O shield. VGA out for the onboard video, which I'm not using. Serial, parallel, and the audio and joystick connectors for the onboard audio, which is not being used either. There's our NVIDIA GeForce 4MX video card, the PCI Ethernet card I'm having to use, and the Sound Blaster Audigy sound card, which is very, very nice in itself. More on that later. Okay, here is the inside. We have 2 case fans, one back here and one in the front, which is currently disconnected because it has a very bright blue LED that I was not aware of when I bought this case. So until I can find a plain case fan or one with a red LED, which wouldn't be too bad for this system, the front case fan is going to have to remain disconnected for the time being. a system of this caliber, it's really not that necessary to have that fan connected at the moment. But anyway, one change I did make, I think I mentioned it in the zip drive video, is I put a smaller CPU fan in this system because the one that I was using on here before, while it worked, it sounded like a vacuum cleaner. And this one is a lot quieter, which is more appropriate for my uses. There's the back of the optical drive, the hard drive, which is a Seagate. There's the video, network, and audio. And our RAM. This is a Intel motherboard. I forget the model number. It's on there somewhere. Oh yeah. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it is a Intel D815EEA. This is a 815 chipset based computer. Probably one of the best ones you can have for a 98 system in my opinion. And there's the North Bridge there, I believe. And South Bridge down there somewhere. Okay, let me hook it up back in its regular home and let's fire it up and do some tinkering. Okay, pardon the mess on my desk. As you may possibly see from since the last video of this computer, I've moved it over here next to my main computer. It's now connected to this very nice Dell LCD monitor, this not so nice wireless Logitech keyboard, and wireless Microsoft mouse. Well, mouse isn't too bad, but this keyboard has got to go at some point. And it's sitting right down there, and it's KVM'd with my Windows XP system, the Dell Inspiron 518. So it is using all USB, which is probably not the best solution for a Windows 98 system, but it works just fine. It's got legacy USB support, so who cares? So anyway, let's fire it up. And thing about this computer though is we got to be careful because I want to show you the BIOS, but the post on this computer, the power on self test, is so quick I might not be able to get in there in time. So let's make an attempt. Okay, I'm smashing that F2. There we go, entering setup. And here's the BIOS information. 866 megahertz processor. Got 256K of cache RAM. 256 megs of memory, although one of the modules is PC100. I should probably replace that with a 133. Let's see, PCI, it's nothing interesting there. There's the peripheral stuff there. Let's go to IDE. Standard issue stuff there. There we go. Looks like this system is not 5 1/4 inch floppy friendly, but I'm not going to be using that on a system like this. Video, and of course it's using the AGP card. Okay, I put the camera on the tripod and turned the main lights off, leaving just the Christmas lights on so you can see the monitor better. So we'll just discard changes since we didn't make any changes. And we're booting into good old Windows 98. I've said this before and I'll say it again. For me personally, I cannot have a Windows 98 system without having the Plus pack for Windows 98 installed. It's just a requirement for me. I'm actually considering doing a video retrospective of the Microsoft Plus packs for Nostalgia Mall Christmas this year. So if I decide to do that, you will see that here soon. I decided not to go with a CF card or SD card setup for this computer. It just, for what I use this computer for, a 80 gigabyte hard drive is just a bit more appropriate for my needs. Right, here's the desktop. Eventually, I guess, we'll log on to the domain. I love that creative sound. That's the that's for the Sound Blaster Audigy software. All right, here we are. Almost. Yeah, for a rich Windows 98 system right here, an LCD monitor is not a bad choice for this. CRTs are great, but every now and then it's just a little bit more appropriate to use a LCD. And this monitor is a 1280 by 1024 resolution display, which Windows 98 handles just fine. As a matter of fact, I've seen mostly in virtual machines that do this. I've seen Windows 98 systems run at 1080p. In fact, I've actually seen Windows 95 run at 1080p. That's a sight to behold. Of course, that takes a pretty high-end video card for the time to pull that off, but it is possible. It is very possible. So we'll go into our system properties and take a look at our device manager. We actually have a FireWire connector on this computer, courtesy of the Audigy card. That connector will probably never ever get used, but it's there. Yep, NVIDIA GeForce 4 MX 440. There's the hard drive controller, monitor, network card. It's a 3-COM fast Etherlink XL. One of the most compatible Ethernet cards around, especially for older systems like this. And no, there's not a SCSI card in here. That's just for the Damien Tools emulated CD-ROM drive. And Sound Blaster Audigy. And all our chipset goodies. Okay, just like before with the Carolina Flyer system, one of my biggest goals for this computer is the ability to play just about anything retro you can imagine, made from the early 90s until the early 2000s. And even after all the recent upgrades, including the PCI-based sound card that's now in here, this system is still capable of playing quite a few games from so many different eras of the past. And one of the reasons I'm able to accomplish this is, believe it or not, this very modern for this system Sound Blaster Audigy sound card. The sound card in here is the original model of the Sound Blaster Audigy from the early 2000s. And I never wanted to try this sound card because I've tried other PCI-based Sound Blaster cards from the same era, like the 128 and the Live. And the DOS emulation, well, not the DOS emulation, but the Sound Blaster emulation for DOS sounded absolutely horrific on both flavors of those cards. It was just a train wreck, and I didn't want to have anything to do with that on a system like this if I wanted the ability to play DOS games. And I always assumed that having the Sound Blaster Audigy would result in the same problem. The DOS sound will sound just absolutely horrific. Well, a few months ago, my good friend on YouTube, the Flying Scotsman, recently rebuilt one of his Windows 98 systems and put a Sound Blaster Audigy card into that computer, just like the one now in the Carolina Flyer that you're seeing here. And I was talking to him on Mumble that night, and both of us got curious as to what the sound card may sound like in DOS. We were not expecting anything at all. If there was going to be sound, it would sound just as bad as the 128 in the Live. Well, he fired up Skyroad's Christmas Special, which is always my personal game of choice for testing DOS compatibility, because it has both digital audio and ad-lib audio at the same time, and both of us were floored. The audio accuracy was near perfect. You want proof? Well, let's fire up Skyroad's Christmas Special, and I'll prove it. Listen to that. It's not exact, but it is pretty darn close, I must say. And when I heard this coming from Jay's computer, from his Audigy card, I immediately went on eBay and bought myself one for $15. And I installed it at the same time I moved the hardware from this computer into this current case. So we'll go ahead and give it a try here, because I want to show off the capability of this computer's game compatibility from DOS all the way up to the early 2000s. Of course, we've played this game quite a few times on this channel. It's very much a mainstay. And I'm also using a USB gamepad connected to one of the front USB ports. It pretty much sounds just as good, if almost, as a real Sound Blaster 16. Now, if only my gameplay abilities were a bit better. Keeps pulling to the right a little bit on this gamepad. Yeah, that's... But that pretty much proves the compatibility of the sound card here. And I can load up something DOS-based that's a little bit more potent, I guess you could say. Let's see, let's find something with ad-lib support. I don't know if I've ever played Commander Keen on this computer before or not. Actually, I haven't played this game in a very long time. See if we can get the joystick to work. Move joystick to upper left and press button 1. Okay, it's not registering, so we're going to have to, I guess, use the keyboard. Sounds perfect to me, almost. I mean, a old-fashioned Sound Blaster 16 ISA-based sound card will still sound a lot better. But for something like this, this still beats the pants off of a 128 or a Live. or anything else from that era for that matter, because from the era this system is based off of, early 2000s, that's when a lot of sound cards are starting to lose any kind of support at all for DOS. So being able to play a game like this on a system like this is really nice indeed. So let's clear this level. Alrighty. And that's pretty much how DOS runs on this computer. It does very, very well. As a matter of fact, booting into DOS mode works just fine as well, but I don't really feel like showing that right now because what we just saw pretty much got the point across anyway. Now, staying on the subject of the sound card, I want to do a more in-depth video on the software that came with this sound card eventually, but I do want to show off how Windows-based MIDI sounds on here. It uses a very nice sounding software wavetable. So let's open up the Carol setup program on Christmas for Windows and play a Christmas song or two. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, wait, that sounded stupid. So yeah, very good sounding MIDI. As a matter of fact, it has several different MIDI setups you can choose from in MIDI Mapper or whatever it's called in Windows 9X. So you get different types of MIDI on this system, which is really nice. Okay, let's see how well this computer handles a Windows 3.1 era game. Can't really see it, but let me turn the lights on. This is the Incredible Tune Machine, a zanier version of the Incredible Machine. This is, like the Incredible Machine, this is a game from my childhood that I've always enjoyed. And I did a video about it last Nostalgia Mall Christmas. So we'll go ahead and load it up on here. I think it's already installed. And we'll give it a try on this computer. I don't see why it wouldn't work. Of course, I really shouldn't be jinxing myself. Let's see, of course it is a Sierra game.
Phew! Sierra!
71. We've got a hostile cat and mouse situation on 5th and L. Unauthorized cartoon altercation in progress. Proceed with caution.
Al and mice.
Sit it there to die.
In the nick of time.
The house on fire.
And off to perfect fine.
1 year in the tune factory.
Ingredients and a team.
And get up easily.
Now off they go.
For years.
You realize, Sidney, I'm going to have to eradicate you.
Gee, Al, do you really gotta?
Yes, Sidney. I'm afraid so.
So yeah, this game is basically a parody of the old cat and mouse trope, I guess you could call it, like Tom and Jerry and good stuff like that. And this game is pretty hilarious. So it works just like the original Incredible Machine.
Oh, a wise guy, huh?
You can build and solve puzzles using Rube Goldberg devices.
Hiya, gang. Welcome to me and Al's big screen debut.
Oh joy, oh glee, oh genuine heartfelt elation.
Now, all you's gotta do to solve the puzzle is smack the bottom of all the message machines to open the curtains.
You can probably tell that the screen resolution of this computer is a bit high for this game, hence the fact that the entire gameplay is put into this tiny little window. So all we have to do is this. Again, just like the regular Incredible Machine. And it even registers today's date, December 9th, 2019.
Oh look, Eunice elephant in her natural habitat. My paws are numb with excitement. Feed Eunice and her sister each a peanut if you would.
I'll go ahead and give it one of these. But this, as you can see, this computer is handling a 3.1 era game just fine. Go back to the main menu and make our own game or level. And I guess it's because I have a sick and twisted mind at times. I used to take Al, the blue cat in this game, and just torture him in such horrible, horrible ways. Which we're going to do in this video. So stick around and watch a innocent cat get, yeah, mutilated. So we'll do this. Copy that. Put Sid right there. And we'll give him some bubble gum for a quick getaway. And where's Al? There we go. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Get some rope. Oh wait, I think I need to put him a little bit closer. Now watch this. Oh wait, let me put Al a little bit closer as well. Okay. Trial and error here, folks. Okay, let me figure this out. Or maybe I can just make this smaller here. Okay, that almost did it. Let's make that anvil a little bit higher. Move this over. Okay, that probably did it. Just need to move the pin there. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was good. You know what? Let's do it again. Admittedly, I do feel a little bit bad for doing that to poor Al there, but it's hard to resist. Okay, now for the Windows 95 era, I have decided to show off Pitfall, the Mayan Adventure, another game from my childhood. The PC port was done by the same people that did the PC port of Earthworm Jim Special Edition, and uses pretty much the same code base, I believe. Yeah. This game is brutal. just to warn you. Deep in the Mayan jungle, the legendary temple of... that's boring. Alright, let's get going so we can hurry up and get killed. Not that soon, though. Been a while since I played this. Trying to figure out the controls. I'm using the gamepad again. Whoa, you gotta watch out for the quicksand in this game. It'll get you. Oh yeah, we're doing real well, aren't we? And there are no cheats in this game, so we gotta play it like regular people do. Like the common peasants. Whoa, what? Okay, I believe that's some health there, which we could definitely need. Okay, there we go. I'm still trying to figure out the controls on here. But as you can see, it's playing just fine. Of course, this game is not very high maintenance. You could probably run it on a toaster if you wanted. Wouldn't recommend running it on a toaster, but... Feel bad about killing these poor little monkeys, but keep in mind what we just did to Al the cat a while ago in the Incredible Toon Machine. And of course, this game was also on Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, I think, and Sega CD. The Sega CD version was probably identical to this. But if you can get yourself a copy of this game, I highly recommend it. Keep changing weapons when I want to use the weapon. There we go. Take that. Oh yeah. Is it just me, or does this guy look a bit like Marty McFly from Back to the Future? Or is that just me? Whoop. Come on. Maybe I'm getting the hang of this finally. Or maybe not. The CD audio track repeating messed me up there. That did not go according to plan, or did it? You will never know my strategy. I don't know what I'm saying now. That amused me too much. More health the better in this game. Oh, that was real smart of me, wasn't it? I think we're getting close to the level in boss. And here it is. This thing was brutal toward me as a kid. I don't know how I got past this guy. But keep in mind I was only like 7 years old. I'm about to die, aren't I? And I'm dead. It was bound to happen sometime, folks.
Whoa! Whoa!
Alright, let's try this again.
Whoa!
Come on.
Whoa!
Whoa. We might actually make it, folks. Yes! That's miraculous. I didn't think I'd do that. We'll play the rest of this game a bit later, okay? The last game we'll play in this video is something from the Windows 98 era. At least I think it's from the Windows 98 era. This is Test Drive 6. Haven't played this game too often, but it's a pretty good one. It's hard to go wrong with a good old-fashioned racing game. Let it load up. Okay, it wants some settings set. Let's see, 3 from the NVIDIA card. This is a very, very powerful video card for a system like this, so we really don't have to do much or turn off anything, really. Okay. Alright, let's create a new player. Billy. Okay, just Billy, I guess. Let's see. Options, video. Let's crank it up as far as it can go. Go 1280 by 1024. Game options, that looks good. Controller, we'll set it to Logitech Dual Action USB. That's what we want. Race menu, go to garage, and buy a car. Uh-oh. I think we just crashed. And we just crashed again. And I think the whole system just died. Unscripted, folks. I swear it's unscripted. I'm going to have to do a hard reset, it looks like. So, one moment. Okay, instead of trying to fool with Test Drive 6 to get it working, which I doubt is going to happen on this computer, at least right now, let's just play something a little bit more reasonable for this computer. Midtown Madness 2, one of my favorite games. Remember playing this back when I was 10 years old on my never obsolete E-machine. This game was a bit heavy duty for a computer like that. Didn't run the best, but it ran it well enough, and I was happy. Not exactly sure why Test Drive 6 died like it did. The way the illegal operation looked, I think it had something to do with the video card. Okay, we'll set that to 1280 by 1024. Controller, gamepad. And I'll create a new driver, Billy. And we'll just do a cruise through, how about London? Looks good. How about we drive a big red Ford F-150 through London, England? With missing wheels, apparently. This isn't going to work, is it? Why do I have a feeling it's not going to work?
Nothing like cruising fancy-free,
Um,
streets, parks, and pavement to the old smoke.
What the heck is going on here? Okay, look guys, I swear this computer can play a Windows 98 era game. I promise that. I just don't know why I'm having this kind of luck tonight. I think the world is just out to get me right now. Oh. Okay, third time's a charm. This game is a little bit older than what I wanted to show, but I'm 99.9% sure this one is going to work. This is Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit. You know, putting a Voodoo 3 in this computer is starting to sound quite appealing. Huh? What? Please, no, please. I've tried. I've tried 2 games. This is the third. The third one's supposed to be the charm. Please work. Please work. Don't make the ding sound. You made the ding sound. Okay, I found a game that's gotta work. I found a game that has got to work. This has got to work. Earthworm Jim 3D. Let's pop this thing in. This computer's really letting me down right now. Again, I'm really starting to think that maybe this GeForce 4 MX is not the best choice for this computer. Maybe there's some kind of weird incompatibility problems with this video card. And so that's why I'm seriously beginning to consider getting a a Voodoo 3 into this computer. I have one that's not being used right now. I'm really thinking that that will probably be a smart choice for this computer. So, will this work? I just realized this game plays off the hard drive, so putting that CD in was a waste of time. There we go. This game, while it's pretty enjoyable, compared to the original Earthworm Jim game, this game cannot hold a candle to that. There's Elvis for some reason. But the cool thing about this game is that Earthworm Jim is voiced by Dan Castellaneta, who voiced him in the Earthworm Jim animated series on the Saturday morning cartoon. And of course, Dan Castellaneta is most famous for voicing Homer Simpson on The Simpsons. Well, this game looks pretty good at this resolution.
And it's a really big one.
And it's already working with the controller I'm using. So we finally got a Windows 98 era game to show off this system. I will keep the failed attempts in this video just because I just want to show that life isn't always peaches and cream. I'm just glad we got something to work. You know, I've been playing this game since like 1999 or 2000, and I have never gotten past the first level of this. My apologies to the Flying Scotsman for that little joke there. from Jim's bagpipes. Just like the other Earthworm Jim games, this game does not take itself seriously, which is what I always like, and not just games, but life itself. Sometimes you just gotta sit back and crack a few jokes. The world would be a happier place if it was, if people acted more like that. Go. And I believe we gotta shoot these boxes out. So I guess I'm gonna be making a Nostalgia Mall Christmas video where we put the Voodoo 3 in this computer. It used to be in this computer until I upgraded the motherboard last year, and the processors at the same time, because I felt a GeForce 4 MX would be more appropriate for this, for a higher end processor like this, but perhaps I was wrong. And besides, it would be nice to have Glide compatibility on the system again. Okay, let's see if we can kill this guy. There we go. Fridge is launched. I guess that's continuing the running gag from the first game where the cow was launched. Oh yeah, we gotta find special underwear. Well, I hope you enjoyed our look at the Carolina Flyer, my ultimate Windows 98 system. Looks like it could use a little bit of tweaking, as we discovered in this video. Like I said, perhaps changing out the video card for a Voodoo 3 might solve some of our issues. So we might do that later down the road in Nostalgia Mall Christmas. So until then, we'll go ahead and shut it down, and we will see you guys tomorrow for tomorrow's video. Until then, this is Billy Core signing off. Thank you for visiting the Nostalgia Mall. If you liked what you saw, please like, subscribe, and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You may also support me on Patreon if you would like. The links to these are in the description below. Until next time, this is Billy Core wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.